am in Colorado. Yes, I am at a free dispersed camping campsite. This is the campsite. We'll see a little more of that as I walk around. I thought what I'd do while I'm waiting on people to come in this morning is I'll show you what my rig looks like when I'm actually in camp. And that is Tom's van. Um, I'm still kind of buddy camping alongside Tom right now. By the way, yes, jacket on, sweater on, whatever. Um, it was 40 degrees when I got up this morning. Yes, that's not hot, which is lovely, but it's also a little chilly. So I'm going to turn this camera around as soon as I can. When it, oh, there it goes. Hopefully I didn't, oh, I turned it back accidentally. Okay, touch it again. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Okay, here we go. So this is what my car looks like when it's set up in camp. And I did just get washed up, and yeah, I'm enjoying the cooler weather as well. Just got washed up and changed clothes. Oh, I got to show you Milo. Wave, it's my live video, people, this morning. There's Milo and his mom. Milo's a miniature Tika, be nice, is a miniature golden doodle. And I never considered that breed until I met Milo. And what a lovely, lovely breed. Very, very friendly little dog. And that's Miss Tika. That's Tom's dog. She's half wolf. And she's older. So that was a puppy walking by a 13-year-old dog. Okay, coming, panning back around, trying not to go too fast. And I am using my left hand, which wiggles more than my right. There's Tom's van and the Kelty awning that Kelty gifted me to do a review on. I've filmed a review, but I haven't been able to put it out yet because I was trying to do an introduction and things like that. And I'm struggling with those things, as y'all saw on my Wednesday post. So we'll work at that. Anyway, so this is my car setup in a campsite. Oh, hi, Ken and Beth and Iris, and I didn't see who else, but hi, everybody. Good morning. So my car right now, I'm going to get close. My car right now is very covered in, oh, these are spruce trees. And there's probably a little bit of pine mixed in here somewhere, but there's a lot of these like Colorado spruce. So so my car is covered in spit from the tree. I don't know that you can see it on a on film, but it's got little pieces, little sap spits all over it. But it's what happens. Yeah, I dry my washcloth on the mirror or something that's in the sun. And yes, I have my little step set up. It's more to wipe my shoes off than it is. I don't really need it to get in the car, but yeah, if I'm having an MS weirdness day, it's useful. So let's see. Under the seat, that's my bed, right? That's my seat folded. You can kind of see. The red bag is dirty clothes. The black bag, which you can probably hardly see, is right there, is a tool bag. And then there's some I think that's trash bags underneath the white. Yes, that clip kind of helps my seat not slide, because it slides, whatever. Dr. Bronner's stuff. In my door, I have, a first aid kit that I kind of put together, my sewing kit, some really tiny, like laundry things. They're like little packs like you would take if you were going on an airplane. And one of the citronella bug armbands. The blue is my bathroom bag, but it's the larger stuff, because a lot of people, if they're traveling from home, they can do a small size, but sometimes small size is not cost effective. And sometimes, it's annoying for me as a minimalist to have that kind of size, but at the price, it's not worth it sometimes. So this bag has, larger size things in it, but bathroom stuff. And this is my take it to the pit toilet bag, which has some toilet paper, and some baby wipes. But that's because there's a pit toilet here, although they maintain it really well. And then I have a couple of jugs of water under there. Let's see. Bed just thrown together this morning because, I'm not really planning on moving, although a couple of campsites have opened up this morning and might want to move down to one at the end that was really cool. So, my bed, my pillows, you see. You see the back of the camp. There's Tom sitting at the campfire and his solar panels. He has Goal Zero solar. Mine is, right now, mine's the Rock Pals. That's the Alpicool C20, no, C12 refrigerator, a camp mat from Walmart, some things hanging off my hiking pole back there. If I remember right, it's avocados, my empty little bag that I sometimes put my sweet potatoes and things in, and the bug net for my hammock, which is not, the bug net's not hanging up, but the hammock is hanging up. You'll see that in a minute. I use a fanny pack, though I make it bigger and kind of use it like a crossbody bag. Yeah, my body shape and size and everything, I don't like how I look with a fanny pack, but they're useful. They hang so well off of a seat. And so even just using it this way, and then I can just do it that way, so it's on the back of the seat. That really is a helpful. I hope that's a tip for somebody. The what? Oh, is an old canvas tote bag, and it has all of my electronics and paperwork and scribble books. They used to be called journals. This is one of my scribble book pages. Okay. And no, I'm not going to, you'd have to stop and read that, and I don't really care if you do. It's There are things sometimes that don't even come true. This yellow bag somebody gave me at Overland Expo in Loveland, West, Mountain West, but the hooks are wrong on it. They're both the wrong end. So I'm using it for clothes right now. I'm not sure. I may change those hooks, but it depends. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. When I'm in camp, often I just roll my wind jacket like that and stick it in that place. And the Rock Pals gets to be put on the dash, and then sometimes the solars run to it. Right now it's got enough charge. I'm not worried about it. This is my windshield shade, but I'm just protecting the Rock Pals from it, and a couple of books from the thrift store. Yeah, I'm a thrift store person. This little light's very flashy. I got this with its remote at one of the Dollar Trees. It works really good. It's battery operated. I don't love it. I want a string of lights again, but I want a string of lights that not only is solar, but has an automatic on and off as well as an on and off. And my, what's the brand called? My Lucy Light string lights don't do that, and I wish they did. So I don't know what I'm doing about that, but I want string lights back. Okay, up in the ceiling, you can see some of my patches. I don't have them all pulled together. This is a light I got from Wagon Tech at Flagstaff. They were giving them away to the presenter people. And you see my hat and gloves, my winter hat and gloves, and my summer hat's up in there. That's where I just tuck them so that I can get them in the night if I get too cold. What else do I want to show you? It's so simple. That's about it. Unless you could see more of that spit from the trees, that's going to be messy to clean off. My particular weed boost antenna, I bought an extra one so that it didn't look like a canister. I got a shark fin, and it works just the same, but that's what I got. So in camp, often my back door's open a lot. I'm going to close it in a minute. But so trash bag that has the smushed cans that we burned off in the fire. The backpack is my Insta-Privy kit, which y'all probably remember. The red cup with the stickers. It's my number one cup, for whoever needs to know that. The shovel is probably going to stay home this time because I now have a folding shovel that fits under my front seat, but for now I have that. The orange bag is my Pix mosquito coil things, those bug coil things. Yes, my little tarp that's out right now. That's one of the hiker's tarps from Walmart. These strings, that's when we went to gather firewood the other day. I made a couple of loops of strings to help me drag some logs back so that we could have good campfires. Because Tom and I like campfires. I like them in the morning. He likes them in the afternoon. So from the back of the car, let's see this real quick. I figured this would give us time to get into here and say hi to everybody. You know, my pillows, my bed. The black bag is my stove stuff. This is one of the things for my stove. Yeah, Windex, because I haven't got rid of it yet, but I gotta clean these nasty windows before I drive. Some fuel that's in, these are cup cozies. I just put it over the fuel in case it was in the sun. A small igloo bag, which holds things like, let's see if I can open it and you can see. Holds things like, well, some bandanas, which are my, you know, go-to cloths for everything. You know, my olive oil and my, balsamic vinegar, nutritional yeast, salt, Tabasco, stuff like that. Stevia, stuff like that, so that it doesn't get ruined in the heat, because, you know, hot cars can make things icky. And my baseball hat, this one actually looks good on me. This crate is an ammo crate, if you're looking for it, has turned out to be fantastic. It fits so much as a pantry box. It fits, I don't know, let's see if I can open it and, oh yeah, I can sort of, well, it's messy, so you're not seeing it neat right now. But I got a really good deal on this mackerel the other day at one of the Walmarts. The mackerel was 70 cents a can, and so instead of $2, so I bought it. But I can get 3 cans in a row. Wait a minute, let me see if I can. 3 regular size cans. Amy's black bean chili I can eat because it's been pressure cooked and it has no soy and stuff like that in it. And these little mackerels will fit on top. And then all these little cans of salmon, I also got a deal. I think they were 50 cents a can. Same Walmart. They weren't out of date. Wasn't anything like that. But I was like, well, I'm not passing up that deal, so I bought them. But that's kind of the, I had to use both hands there. That's kind of the pantry box, which that has really been working out well for me. So, okay, that's that. I'm going to close this down. There are a few bugs. Oh, and in here in my spare tire holes, this is wax. This is WD-40, and my oil is down in there. And then on this side, I usually put my laundry soap on this other side, but I'm out of laundry soap. So there are yellow jackets here. Oh, and some of you will notice I only put the stickers inside the frame because I don't like to see them, and I don't like them all over the cars when you're driving down the road. You could barely see them here. But anyways, so that's that. Anything else you need to see? This door, well, the store's not closed, so we'll open it and I'll show you this. Oh, and the solar panel while I'm in camp is just sitting here. And then I bring it out and I put it on the roof or I put it outside or whatever. That's it. So you got a tour of that, and then outside my hammock, it happens to be, we have nice trees, so the hammock's hanging here. And at night, I put a bungee ball on the center of it because it blows if the wind's blowing, and that keeps it from billowing too much, floating around too much. What else? Pretty close to that pit toilet over there. You can see there's people. I think I'm going to walk around camp a little bit. Do you want to wave hi, Tom? Hello. There's Tom. He's working his crossword puzzles and listening to his radio shows today. We've had quite a few yellow jackets. Like, look, we baited them. We had to bait them. Oh, not fun when you have that, but you bait them away from camp and it works pretty good. And there's Miss Teekapoo at the back of the van. Okay. And I'm going to walk through the woods, but I mean, there's a road here, but you can see that this is a lovely dispersed camping area. There's no services except for the pit toilet, but it's just lovely. Hopefully my signal is good all the way through. And there's quite a few different rigs. There's a couple of A-liners over on this side. It's lovely. Let's see. Yeah, they look like they might be packing up that A-liner. Well, maybe not. But that's a small one. That's an off-road one. And across the way from it is one of the bigger ones. And, but I even saw a moose poo out here. Oh, these people's setup is kind of interesting. This is worth taking a quick look at from a distance and being, respectful and careful. But look what they've got. The cot tent things. They don't have the one I saw one. It's a little bit older style. I think it might be Alps Engineering. I'm not sure, but it hangs all the way down on the ground, so like your dog could sleep underneath of the cot. And it's kind of a cool thing. I have seen that. And I don't know who's here because I'm not sure it kind of looks abandoned, but I'm not sure. But there's this little tiny teardrop. Oh, maybe it's not abandoned. There's solar lights on the top, and that wasn't that way the other day. I don't recall. Yeah, maybe it was. I don't recall. But anyways, it's a very tiny. I'm saying very tiny. It's as big as my car. And remember, that's something I say to you guys. When I look at SUVs, I think of SUVs as a teardrop with an engine. So I think it's a good way to kind of look at what you're doing. Now, earlier, I think we got here a week ago. I don't remember exactly how many days we've been here. I have to figure it out. But there was a bell tent here, and they've just gone this morning. And if you know, that's one of the big canvas tents. So that would not have been an easy setup and take down. It's a more than one person job. But this is where they were. I thought you were going to get to see it, but that's gone. Let's see if we can get through here. There's this other site that I think is beautiful over here. But when we came in, there were people in it. Tom and I were talking about leaving soon. Now, I believe that's a squirrel nest up in that tree. I grew up with gray squirrels, and I believe that gray squirrels live in the trees. We were talking about changing campsites, moving. I'm wanting to start heading toward home, and it was chilly this morning. And I'll separate from Tom. That's not even an issue, but we kind of made a comment about we could just move down here for a few days to this pretty site because this is lovely. Look at this. Morning sun, beautiful trees. You might not be able to see for the sun now that I'm thinking about it. All these gorgeous trees. The road's not far away. I can hear it. You might be able to hear it too. The dirt road. And right over there is the river. I'm not sure if I can get through there with the phone. There's another access, but I want to see what y'all are talking about this morning. So let me touch that button. Well, give you something to look at while I touch the button, right? Let's look at that view so that I can see if, please remember if you have any questions to put some uppercase cues in front of the questions so that I can see them easily. Oh, it is a beautiful forest, isn't it? And there's 2 or 3 campsites on this road. So I did put the actual name of the campsite as the location today, which I don't always do. And I did wear my you're not looking at me right now. I did wear my Bluetooth headset today. Always wanted, I don't know. how I am going to afford the kind of dog I need or want. What are you doing to keep warm at night? Okay, I'll talk about that in just a second. I want to talk about the dog a little more since there's quite a few dog comments. And hi, everybody that's coming in. Thank you for being here. Please, chit chat between yourselves. Just because I'm on here with the camera, that's kind of, I'm your reason, I'm your excuse to be here and talk to each other, right? But on the dog note, I think that I would love to have a Westie. Westies, when I look them up, are about $3,500. Ozzy was quite a challenging rescue dog. He was a pain in the ass butt, and he was the most wonderful companion I've ever had. And I loved him to pieces. I actually loved him into being a pretty good companion dog. But I'm not sure I want to rescue this time. Although I'd love to help another dog, I need to keep me calm, and I need the kind of help that, I don't know, maybe I'm talking through maybe I'm talking strange. I don't think I am. But I would love a Westie. But I also like this miniature golden doodle, that the temperament of this dog, the loviness, the hugginess. That's something I think I would love. They're expensive dogs. So if any of you are into dogs, which I know you are, I love dog people. I love dogs. But if you have any tips, I have to have a hypoallergenic. If you know somebody who's a breeder, or you know a rescue that has something that might work for me, please let me know. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I think I need one. Oh, there's that other A-liner. I'm trying to walk out so I can show you how close this beautiful river is. And Tom has 5-gallon buckets in his van. I don't have that large a bucket. But there's more than one way to get to this. And I could go right over there between those couple of trees right there. That's where Tika and I went this morning. But I'm going to take you over here because it's a nice little walk. But I got to go across all these rocks. And you can go in these trees too. Okay. But this is really beautiful over here. You'll understand why I'm taking you this way. But yes, if any of you know of a dog that might work for me or something, yeah, please don't be shy. Please let me know, because I think I need one. I think it's a good idea. They help you. They force you to go for a walk. Okay. And I'm really enjoying borrowing Tika. And Tika will walk with me. And Tom had said she didn't walk with very many people besides him. But she will go with me for a walk. And that's been wonderful to do that nearly every morning. I'm going to show you a shot at my feet. We were going to talk about keeping warm. These are cotton socks I got at Dollar Tree. I don't usually wear cotton, but I didn't need my wool socks, and they're crazy colored. And you know what? I'm still wearing them. And that's what I'm going to do. How am I going across this the easiest way? Okay. See, I'm taking y'all on a little adventure with me. Some of my daily adventures, right? I could try to show you my feet, but because of my MS, my left leg, I test the rocks and I'm careful, right? Because I'm a little unsteady. It's not bad. But now this part of ground is pretty good. My crazy colored shoes and socks. I don't know how much you're going to be able to hear me out here, but look at this. So y'all get to come with me today and look at these mountains. I've got more video of this for you guys, but Like I said, I'm struggling with that intro and how to post so the video plays. I thought I did it Wednesday, but it didn't work. And look how gorgeous this is. And so every 2 or 3 times a day, Tika wants to come over and get in the water and take a drink. So I get to walk her at least twice by myself. This is just lovely, incredible. And I never would have come here because it wasn't on my radar until I bumped back into Tom and he told me he was somewhere close to this. And then he said, well, you come on where I am and we'll spend a couple of nights right here. And then what do you want to do next? And I was like, well, going toward home. And then we looked at the weather and the temperature at home was going to be in the mid to high 80s during the day. And it was still in the 50s at night. And Tom said, what about, he'd been in Leadville this summer. And he was like, what about, and I was like, what about not going home yet? It's a little soon. I'm not ready to go home quite yet if it's that hot. So let's give it another week. And he said, well, there's this other place I love near Silverton, Colorado. I think I'm saying the right name. I believe I am. And I was like, well, why not? And he goes, okay. So here we are. And we've been here a few days. Okay. I'm going to keep showing you this beautiful thing. Stop again up near this little spruce tree, all these little spruce trees, which is a little flatter and makes me not feel like, see, I can stand here without feeling like I'm on these rocks. So, okay, there's a better view. Now I'm going to check your messages again. Because it's how it works. Tico. Did I use the word Tico? Or did somebody else? If I used the word Tico, I lived in Costa Rica a long time, and the indigenous are called indigenous, right? Or they have their tribe names. And the locals that have a European background, they're mostly called Ticos. So if I use that term, that's the first question I thought. Yes, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I am so just loving. Oh, bye, TJ. I didn't see that, but I'm glad they were here. And if they didn't stay, we talk off and on some. iPad battery is low. Okay. I'm glad you guys were. Oh, Shane's here. Hi, Shane. You're back in the States, aren't you? How was your adventure? So I hope you can hear some of that sound. Okay, I think I got all the questions I could find. You could still put more questions because I'm not going to stop walking on this little adventure with you. Oh, yes, there's the other question that I did not finish. How do I keep warm at night? Well, one, my micro camper, if you want to call it that, my little rig is so small that body heat will keep it a certain temperature anyway. I do like to keep one window cracked so that I get an airflow. But sometimes, oh, I just saw this. Isn't that pretty up the hill too? It's not as pretty as the water, but it's just really cool. To me, it's cool. And that down tree over there is pretty big. Yeah. Anyway, so the size of the vehicle helps because my body heat will help keep it cool, warm. But I always try to keep either a window cracked open, or if it's colder, I'll just make sure that the vents are open to the outside. Like I know some of the new cars don't have that same thing as older cars do, but I think they still have one setting that allows outside air to be able to circulate inside the vehicle without the fan being on. And so I try to do that. Let me try to switch back to my right hand so you guys get more of this. I could sit here all day. Look at the big rock. Yeah, I think you can see that. Yeah. So we'll get a view this way too. No wonder these were mining towns. Look at all this water flowing. Yeah. So I have a fleece sleeping bag, and it's an old Ozark Trails. The older ones were thicker material. Now they're making a more ultra lightweight, smaller, thinner fleece. But fleece, if it gets wet, you can still stay warm. So can you with real wool. Of course, with all of my sensitivities, I'm careful with a lot of things. I'm fine with wool. I'm not so good with down. So the sleeping bag I have is a not very cold weather. I don't remember the temperature rating on the sleeping bag, but it is a polyester fill. And so I actually put the fleece sleeping bag, and mine happens to be a rectangle, inside the mummy bag sleeping bag. That's how I stay as warm as I can. And then depending on how much colder it is than that, I'm more adventure here and some shadow. I then put on more clothes. So if it's colder, then those things will allow. Then I put on the winter hat. I'll wear a pair of, first I'll try gloves that are fingerless, because I have a pair of those and I love them. And if that's not warm enough, then I'll switch from the fingerless gloves to gloves with fingers. And then I will let's see, I will put on socks. I will put on, if like these cotton socks are only so warm, but I will put them on first. If I'm not warm enough, then I will put on wool socks. And I have shorty wool socks and larger wool socks. I have a pair of smart wools that I hiked in 2011 when I was on the Appalachian Trail. And I still use them, but usually that's when it's super cold. And I'm yelling because I think you can't hear me over the water. I hope you're enjoying this. I love bringing you along. And yes, if you have a larger rig and you don't mind being out in the sun and not in the trees, you can camp right beside the water. We're going to go over near there. Condensation, yes. Let me, at the flat particle, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool last night, but it was fine. And I don't think I've ever... Which dog? Tika? Tika, I believe he spells T-E-K-A, but I used to spell it different. But I believe Tom spells it that way. Condensation, let's get back to that. Is there another one? Alahuela, yeah. Oh, Tika, the dog. T-E-K-A, Tika, yes. Tika is half wolf, yes. Oh, thank you, Carrie, but I'm not coming back this winter. I'll be headed toward home soon. Okay. And condensation. I'll be headed toward home soon. And then, first announcement here, people. I wasn't going to do this anymore, and I've changed my mind. So we get to do that, whether I'm a girl or not, right? As human, you're picking right through the rocks and pretty looking hippie long stocking socks, right? And my blue shoes. By the way, I did finally order my new shoes, which will be a different color. I never wanted the blue ones. They were okay, but I didn't have much choice when I bought these a year or two ago. There were only so many colors that time. Okay, here's what we're picking our way through. Um, Condensation. Let's go there first. Condensation. Um, I don't have much trouble with condensation. One, my headliner on the removable roof that's on my car originally was a soft top, and I bought it with the. I bought my car with the rally top on it, and the rally top is a removable hard top. The headliner is actually automobile carpet, and because of that, there isn't as much condensation. So, condensation. I hardly have any. One time I had some on a window just roll down in one of my old cars. We're going to take an adventure and walk around this. The client over there going through that water. Um, so, um, so what I have recommended to a lot of people, especially if you have more than one body in your RV or vehicle, you're going to have more. You're going to have more condensation just because of the number of bodies. So I have found that when I was making curtains, and I still do that sometimes for other people, make curtains for their vehicles. When I was making curtains, if you use microfiber towels, or if you're making your insulated window coverings like Reflectix, and you're going to use the 3M77 adhesive, which is the adhesive they use to put headliners on vehicles. If you use that you have to do it right. Because there's a process of spraying, letting it dry till it's tacky, spraying again, putting the two tacky things together. But I found that using microfiber towels and or fabric. Now, towels in a pinch, or when you're starting out and you have nothing that you can use for a curtain easily, do your best to use a bungee cord from a crap handle to something in the back, and then fold it, lay a towel over that. And that will help you the towel will absorb that moisture from the air. And then because they're hanging, they'll dry, or you can put them out in the sun and dry them. But things will get damp inside your vehicles. So I tend to, as much as I can, now, after years and years, I tend to buy, when I'm helping people with their vehicles, I tend to buy microfiber towels. The ones that I have found that kind of are the least expensive and the easiest to maneuver for sewing and gluing on are the ones from Ozark Trails you can get at Walmart. They're just about $5 each. And one of them is as big as the rear window in, say, most SUVs or minivans. And so even if you're making, you want blackout curtains, the color of that is kind of a tan gray, and it doesn't show very well at all through most vehicles, and especially if you have tinted windows. So I find that using those as one of the fabrics, you may want to put black on one side and you may want to put this on the other side, but I've used it as the outside side for most of the time. And I've even used a pretty cotton print on the inside to make the back of my vehicle feel like it's a bedroom, like it's wallpaper. So, yeah, that's a tip on the condensation. Other than that, you have to have something that will help you to dry it out. Some people in larger RVs tend to um, uh, tend to use the buckets of the dry rid or whatever it's called, and you can at Dollar Tree, you can, for now it's $1.25, but you can buy the little tiny ones for closets and just stick one under a couple of seats and it will help. But don't forget, if you've had a lot of cold and a lot of condensation, to get them outside in the sun and let them dry out and then put them back. Because if they don't ever get dried out, it won't be helpful. Yes, we're still walking and having an adventure. Isn't this nice? I get an extra walk in today and you guys get some adventure too, even from your wherever you are at home. How about this pretty flower thing? It's not a Queen Anne's lace. I'm not sure what this is. It's pretty though. I do like nature a lot. I wish I had birds to show you. And yes, somebody has dammed this up a little bit. This makes, there's another place a little further up. It's easier for us to get a 5-gallon bucket in and grab water. And then we take it back to camp and filter it through a Sawyer gravity feed system to make drinking water out of it. And of course, if we're boiling it for coffee, we're just doing that. And you see how close some of the RVs are. Whew. It could be in the Yarrow family. That's true. Um, oh, thank you guys. Uh, okay, we're gonna take this walk down through here. It's a little downhill, and back into the campground area. Ooh, it's so pretty. Look at all the moss, and it's beautiful in here. Oh, now the road getting here was incredible. Yes. I came in, that's part of what I had in the video for you on Wednesday that didn't make it through. But I had driven the 25-mile-an-hour going across 3 different passes, going from, I don't know, 6,000 feet up to 11,000 or 12,000 feet and back down to 9, 25-mile-an-hour hairpin turns in the rain at almost dark. And so I was going to show you guys that. That was fun. And I wasn't as anxious as sometimes I have been in my past. And our camp is right behind there, the white. You can't see it with this, I don't believe. This guy's got a Nemo tent. That's a good company. That's a good piece of equipment. And the one up on the hill, the red one, is Big Agnes, I think. And you see, there's a lot of rigs here. But we got in a different spot. And there's more campsites up the way, up the road. There's one pay-for campsite. Oh my gosh, full price, $34 a night. And people are paying for that. Wow. Wow, just wow. But if you need the hookups and it's what you need, I mean, go for it. You can use your half-price pass up there, your whatever it's, what's the pass called? America the Beautiful pass. And I gotta take this jacket off and get warm. Hi, Mystica. How you doing, Goo? Yeah, and you see our campsite. That's my new red chair. That's a Ozark Trails. I'm really loving this chair. It's a little straight, folds up kind of small, kinda. It was about $32, something like that. It's a stadium something chair, but the legs lock open. And so that's kind of nice. It's not very big. So here we are back at the hammock. Oh, Tom's getting ready to filter water. Can we watch? Oh, you already been? Uh-oh. And I wasn't helping. Oh, bad campmate not helping out, right?
Unless you want to watch, helping you watch it.
Well, I think the people, some of the people on here probably have never seen anybody use a gravity filter.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll let them. That's a CNOC bag, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those are nice because they're easier to fill. There you go. And then he has the Sawyer gravity feed. This is the same one I bought that I had to return to the store because I couldn't afford to keep it. But I will get it again soon. And it comes in a bag like this with stuff. But then it just hangs. And he has a ladder rack with his lawn chair rack on it. Makes it real convenient. And it just does a thing. Mm-hmm. It's so hard. Yeah, working real hard. So they want to see more about Tika. Do you want to tell them about Tika a little bit? What's to tell? Really. What's to tell, right? Not really, yeah. It's okay. You don't have to. I told them how to spell her name. They were asking. Tika. Yep. They think she's an interesting dog. So yeah, she's a good girl. There's that single axle trailer going out. Yeah. Yeah. So I walked them all through camp. I'm gonna end this part. Let's see, how long have I been on? 46 minutes. So sometimes we go 2 hours. We're not going 2 hours, just FYI. I am going to pick a spot. Oh, maybe I'll sit in the hammock and you guys can just ask me questions and I'll, oh, by the way, I brush my teeth with baking soda. I have to go back later and scuff up the, people drive these rigs kind of fast sometimes. I have to scuff up the ground because the baking soda leaves white marks on the ground. I don't like to see it. It's nothing wrong with it. Won't hurt a thing. But okay, I'm unfolding the hammock. I know the print on my hammock I like a lot. It's pretty. Someday it'll wear out. I leave it out in the rain and everything, so someday it will wear out. But okay. Whew. Let's sit in a hammock a while. Oh, so somebody said hi to you, Tom.
Okay, I bet.
Yeah, I will. Okay, let's turn the camera around. You guys can see me for a little bit. This jacket's hot, but I am gonna rest in the hammock. We walked. I still have my shoes on, but that's okay. So, let's see. Any more questions in there? Whew, that was fun. Did you guys like that? I think you did. I hope you liked that. Yes, I did say she is half wolf. I don't remember the other half, but Tom didn't feel like talking about it today. So another time I'll get that and give it to you. But she is half wolf and she came from a family somewhere near Phoenix, Arizona. He's had her. Shane, good. Okay, got that one. Condensation. Yeah. So Ivy, did I answer enough with the condensation? It was pretty cool. Oh, you were in Colorado too, huh? Carrie. Oh, you're up higher, yeah. But you're up higher, but not higher in elevation. Up north, but not higher. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I lived all around, for Carrie, I lived all around San Isidro de El General, and up in Alajuela. I mean, not Alajuela. Hang on. Okay, that's gone. But between San Isidro de El General and Dominical, this kind of, you know, a circular thing, and there's some mountains up in there. And I was up in that area the majority of the time I was there, especially when I was renting and whatnot. I did live in Ray Carre for over a year, maybe 2 years, in a rented house in that village. That's an indigenous village. It was a whole thing. I have pictures, I have stories. I'm so close to giving them to y'all. Just if I can make those videos actually roll as a video. I thought I did it right this week. Okay, no more whining. Um, did I have any trouble? That was a Shane question. Did I have any trouble with fungal issues? Of course. But I learned real early on in Costa Rica, by the way, if you go to any pharmacy, each pharmacy has its own doctor. And you just ask if you can see the doctor and you go in. It's like you don't have to have your own doctor and make appointments and whatever. You might have to wait. You might have to wait a couple hours. Um, you go in and you see the doctor. Well, when I was first there, I got advice from other travelers, and I got advice from a couple of those doctors. And one of them said, every time you take a shower down here, because of the way I'm trying to keep my head up a little bit for you guys, so I'm not too relaxed, right? Um, they said, you know, every time you take a shower here, rather than using soap, use Head and Shoulders. And the reason was because Head and Shoulders is made to kill bacteria. And that way, if you get a fungal thing, you most of the time will kill it just when you're taking your shower if you use Head and Shoulders instead of soap. And so I did that, and it really worked really well. As you probably know from travel in Central America, Shane, it's very common for people, especially in indigenous villages, very common that you take your shoes off outside the house or on the porch, and you just leave them there. And sometimes you come out and your pair is gone because you had a better pair than somebody else. And so sometimes you're sharing boots or you're sharing flip flops or Crocs. And usually that's all the shoes you have down there is Crocs, flip flops, and a pair of rubber boots. And wearing someone else's rubber boots, I got a nail infection, fungal thing, whatever. I still haven't gotten rid of that as much as I'd like to. I have a couple of tough toenails that I hate anybody to see, but I don't know what to do about it anymore. I did the best I could, and I was going to ask my doctor about it because I don't know, because I'm more comfortable and my life feels better lately. I don't know, but I'd like to get rid of that if it was possible. But I don't want to take a bunch of pills. You know me, I don't want to take a bunch of pills. Any other kinds of infections like UTIs, right? Yeah, UTIs and things like that. For girls, where you can get inside, um, sew a handle of dental floss on a large clove of garlic and insert and leave it for a few hours, and that will solve the whole thing. Uh, I hope that wasn't too much information. Didn't catch what was recommended to do. Heck of a time to. I don't know if it was husky, but it may be husky. Yeah, but I know half wolf. I know that, and I did with her the same old thing that I do with most dogs. I wait until the dog comes to me, and then let them, for a minute, let them be the boss as they get to figure out what I smell like and who I am and what my character is. And then if I need to say no to them, I start the nose gently, and then I become the, you know, it's Tom's dog, not mine, but that's how I do some of these things. Yeah, what did you miss that I see that comment, Iris? Can somebody tell me what we missed? Because I'll repeat it. I don't mind. Did anyone catch what was recommended to do for um, midnight? Uh, Motorcycles or dirt bikes. There are a crazy amount of um, four-wheel drive trails up here. Oh, fungus. Use Head and Shoulders shampoo instead of soap. It will kill just all the extra things you might get into. And of course, you don't take these things with you when you travel. Okay? When you don't travel with shampoo and stuff like that. I mean, there's no point unless you really have to have something like super special, right? But when you get to any place in the world, you can get commercial toothpaste and things of that nature. You can still get peroxide and baking soda anywhere. That'll do all kinds of things for you. You could get vinegar. You can get, it's out there. It's not like the world is not so remote as you would think anymore. I mean, I'm being reminded of that as I'm traveling in the tracker because um, I don't have to store so much food. There's way more easy access to food when I'm away from the cabin than there is when I'm at the cabin studio, whatever I used to tell you. I used to call it studio, and then I came out on this trip and I'm calling it a cabin. Anyway, um, so if you're actually traveling and packing your bags, don't pack shampoo and stuff. Get it when you get there, and you buy the little tiny bottles. They last a long time. You don't need as much. So. Well, I hope everybody else has had a good week. What has happened in my week? Let's see. I don't remember what day I met up with Tom, but I think he was on last Sunday's video too. And then we moved over here maybe Tuesday. And this is near Silverton, Colorado, which is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And we went, one day, we went into Silverton and did the touristy thing, walked around town. We had to find a place in the shade to park Tika because of Tika and my allergies to the dog hair and stuff like that. And Tika has ridden in my tracker once. She didn't really love it, so she's not in love with riding in the tracker. Um, the easiest thing to do was that Tom drove his van, and so he just cleaned out the front seat for me to sit in, and we drove to Silverton and walked around town. I did not video that. I wanted to have my experience, so I didn't video it. But we went. Tom, like me, Tom likes to go into thrift stores. So I got this at a thrift store, and it actually once upon a time was probably one of the fleece things. It says Silverton, Colorado on it, but it's used, and I can't remember. I think I paid $4 for it, but I wanted another fleece, but I wanted one that zipped up. That was a full zipper and not like my blue shirt just has the three-quarter zip, and I wanted one that was more like a sweater. So to find one for $4 as opposed to 35 or 40, I was like, yeah, I'm buying this one. So it fit good, and I was like, that's good for now. So we did thrift stores and little antique shops and walked through all and saw all the pretty little houses and drove all the little streets. And it's very cute, Victorian. Reminds me of places in Maine, except that you can tell it was a mining town and not a logging town. And in Maine, things would have been logging towns. Oh yes, the backups on things. That's true. Um, I yeah, I went back and forth on that during the COVID thing myself, and then being stuck at the cabin there without a car for so long, I was sort of like, man, I better have double and triple of this and that. And what if, and then the gas prices were going up, and I was like, what if the gas prices get so bad nobody can get to each other? I better have more stuff. I went through some of that too. I'm just as human as you guys are. So um, Yeah, I'm glad that things have calmed down a little bit, but the world's never going back to what it was before this. Or, I'm getting to be one of the old people now. The world's not going back to what it was like when I was young, but we still can get out here and have adventures. We can visit with each other on Sundays. We can support each other as we try to, be kind and be friendly, as we learn how to be neighborly and whatever. Um, I think it's good that we do these things. We can share. We try real hard not to share what we can't afford to, but we try to do the best we can. I, I feel like you get a weird picture of me with this angle of me in the hammock, right? That's because I'm looking at my face again on the phone screen. So I hope you all are getting a good Sunday out of this. I love taking you all for a walk to me. Thank you. Thank you, Irish. I like it too. Right. Why the downsize from the caravan to the smaller vehicle? Oh, good question. I didn't catch what the name was on that. It actually was not a downsize. Um, Actually, what happened was that when I was given the caravan, it had a bad engine. We all knew it, and I wasn't sure about signing the contract to go through with the gift. And in the end, I signed the contract. I felt like I was between a rock and a hard place. And so I accepted it. And the engine only lasted 4 months. And so I offered to return it to Hawa so that they could get a new engine for it and re-gift it to someone else or something, because I had already completed my contractual agreement. Um, like I said, I offered it back to them first. They refused, told me that they did not want it back. And so, with Sue Ann's blessing, it was sold. And the entire amount of money I got for the caravan, for the minivan, was reinvested in my next vehicle, which was the red Jeep Grand Cherokee. Unfortunately, that car had some major issues. I felt like I had the biggest lemon I ever have had. Um, it worked well for I don't know. In the beginning, it was really like sketchy, and I put a lot of money into that car over time. But in the end, the transmission started slipping, the heater core was bad, and the springs broke or were broken. We didn't realize they were broken at first, but I put on too many sets of shocks in a short amount of time, 6 or 8 months. And so that's when we realized that this was not going to work for me, because it needed, uh, let's see, 2000 or $2,500 to fix the heater core. And yes, I did without it for over a year. And then the transmission was going to be another $3,000. And I was like, this isn't even making sense to do from a financial standpoint. So that's why I no longer have the red Jeep Grand Cherokee. Um, and then when I went hunting for another vehicle, I did a lot of research. I asked my mechanic friends for their advice and assistance. And between us all, we decided the best way for me to go was to try to find a Zuki product. And that's how I ended up finding the tracker, was through that process and being willing to sit at my property in the cabin that I used to call a studio for, what was it, 5 months without a vehicle, in order to save money and make a wise decision about another vehicle. And man, have this is the bomb. Uh, yes, it drives 65 miles an hour with no problem. Uh, I did finally find the little spot in the gas pedal. I mean, I know that might sound silly to somebody else, but there's a spot in the gas pedal where, you can, when you're going up a steep incline, where you can kind of make the car downshift to go give you a little more power going uphill. And I finally found it on this trip. So, I mean, in these mountains on the way here, I finally found it and went, oh, see, I could go more than 50 miles an hour up the hill if I'm careful. So, yeah. So I hope that answered your question. I think your handle was um, city something. I hope that answered your question. If you have more questions, don't feel, don't be embarrassed to ask me. You know, I'm kind of an open book. I should show you this view that I have over the. This is what I'm getting to see. Did I punch it? I didn't punch it. Huh? Oh, there it goes. Look at what I get to see. This is my view from the hammock. That's pretty cool, huh? I hope you guys liked this version of Simply Live with Simply Lesa. Traveling in Colorado. I know it's a little shaky, but you know, I'm a real person giving you real life. And I hope that my tips and tricks and answers are helpful to you. I imagine they are. Um, so, a doctorate in life experiences. Yeah, a lot of us do, don't we? um, but yeah, the trees are starting to change colors. Where I'm at right now, you can't see it on these hills because these particular hills have so many of the Colorado spruce. There's very few of the other trees. But as we were driving around through Silverton and the general area the other day in Tom's van, you could see some of the deciduous trees were already yellowing. So it won't be long and they'll have pretty colors. Um, will I get another fur friend? I think the answer is yes. I, yeah, I am so grateful to be able to share uh, fur love, hug a loves with the fur babies around me, and you know, to share with camp buddies that have dogs, or you know, even the other people who are here in their RVs. Sometimes they just are walking by and they let you hug their dog, and I'm really enjoying that. But I think a companion would be good. I mean, I wouldn't mind a human companion either, but I got to be a little choosy with that and careful. And you know, I'm, yeah, enjoying hanging with Tom right now for the moment. We'll see what happens, right? And, and yes, I think a fur baby's probably going to need to happen. Um, I'm still planning to go to Baja. I need to get a hold of those friends. I'm kind of feeling like I've forgotten what else I did this week, but we had a good Sunday visit and walk around. I kind of like taking you for a walk. Anything else before I end? Because I'm feeling like this is good. We're right at a good hour. So, oh, I didn't give you a recipe. Oh, hola, 3G. Yeah. Yes, it is a blessing to share a pup. Yeah. Let me give you a quick recipe. Um, uh, so I've been playing around with my flax bread this week. Um, is that the recipe I'm going to give you? Yeah, that's the one I'm going to give you today. So, real simple. If you're only making one piece of bread for you, for one person, for one meal, about 3 tablespoons of ground golden flaxseed is my preferred because of the color. Okay. Um, Put it in a little Ziploc bag, pour some water in it. Warm water works better, but you can lay it in the sun or you can use cool water and just hold it in your hand until it warms up. But but smush it with your hands until it's like dough and just smush it inside the plastic bag, right? And then if you're out camping like I am, you can use a piece of parchment paper inside a piece of tin foil, or you could use a pan. You can put it on the fire, you could put it on a flame, you can put it on the stove at home. And oh, thank you so much. Um, thank you, Tim. I really appreciate that. Um, anyways, you just flatten this out, and you can flatten it in the plastic, and then open the bag and like, or cut the bag open so that you can just flap it like if you wanted a tortilla, you can do that. Gary, thank you. I really appreciate that. Um, but you could just like cut open the plastic bag and flap it on your fry pan or whatever. Put a little oil in the fry pan, unless it's a well seasoned or non-stick one, right? And then cook it on one side, flip it over, and cook it on the other side. It's wonderful. It's like fabulous, and it is like a tortilla. But now, if you're doing more, you can put like when I buy my golden flax seeds, I buy them at Safeway. They're about $2.99. In the Safeway brand is like organics or something, and so it's nothing. I heard the vehicle behind me. They're just the organic golden flax seeds that are already ground. I understand it's better to grind them yourself, but sometimes you don't. And so, and especially when I'm traveling, I'm not doing that. So I could, but I'm not. So yeah, just you can use a half a bag of it and some water, but you'll get the consistency if you cook a little bit. You know what dough is supposed to feel like, and just do it inside the bag, and then your hands are still clean. And you don't have a messy bowl to wash, and even if you're home, do it that way. I mean, the bags really. I mean, we don't love to use a lot of plastic, um, but these bags are very inexpensive, and it just makes life easier. So, I mean, you can mix it in a bowl. You can smush it with your hands and wash your hands off if you're in a place where you can do that easily. But it's so easy to do this other stuff. Thank you guys so much for the tips, the super chats. I really appreciate that you guys like this. And I have been enjoying coming on every Sunday with y'all and trying to give you something to see. I haven't figured out how to put the phone up in the windshield of the car and drive very far with y'all, but uh, I I really enjoyed this walking around, showing you the beauty of this place in Colorado. Some of you may never get here, and some of you will. But I hope that this week you focus on keeping your life simple so you can travel light and often, because traveling just changes our perspective and gives us the opportunity to change something no matter what age we are, to learn something no matter where we are in life. And so keep it simple, silly. Make every day an adventure. And come back on next Sunday if you'd like to. And um, yeah, come back next Sunday if you'd like to, and bring your questions. Remember, when you do put questions out for me so I can see what so I can quickly see on my screen that there's a question to answer. Please put two or three uppercase Q's, and just, you know, just have a great week. And we'll see you next Sunday, anyways. Ciao.